Howdy, I'm Nick. This is Fouch Family Off-Grid. Today we're going to show you how we paved our driveway with broken concrete, also called riprap, also called urbanite. I like urbanite. It sounds like we went to the city and we went to the urbanite mine and we dug it up and brought it here, which is kind of what we did. So we laid in about 40 feet of 16-inch wide tire tracks for our vehicles to go on the side of the house. And conveniently for us, it was a tire track just like that at somebody else's house for an RV parking spot on the side of their house. They had dug it up, neatly stacked it on the sidewalk, and put it on Craigslist for free. And there I was waiting for it. So we went and we picked it up, brought it here, and laid it in. We're going to show you how we did that. And we got it done just in time for snow to fall. And I already plowed it once, and it's cleaned up really nicely. And it's a great resilient spot for our tires to fall right next to the house. So we're setting up pavers for our tire tracks along the side of the house. We thought that we would make them since we had so much fun making bucket pavers. But cruising Craigslist free, I found somebody just tore up tire tracks out of their yard. So it's a bunch of concrete block, 3 to 4 inches thick, not quite 2 feet wide. So it's going to do exactly what we want it to. Outside edge.
Okay.
Step 1 was the layout, which was all Nick, using the string to mark out the trenches 16 inches wide and 6 inches deep for me to come on out and use my pickaxe to get digging.
Got my 6-inch board for measuring my depth. Got my 16-inch board for measuring my width. And I am ready to start digging. Except I'm stalling because it's really cold. I've been doing a lot of dirt work lately, and I feel kind of powerful, but it's chilly out there. So this is probably my last day of dirt work, of digging. So I'm gonna try and make it a good one.
As it turned out, cold wasn't too much of a problem on the first day, but on the second day, the ground was completely frozen. And although I was discouraged at first, Nick found a way to set up our propane heater over the ground with a big piece of roofing over the top. And that softened the ground right up and got the job done.
And Sadie's been checking level for me. She's a good little supervisor.
This is a level. And you can look over to the top or to this side or to this side and see if it's that way or that way or just in the middle. And if it's just in the middle, then that's really perfect. And if it's that way, then you don't have to, if it's that way, then you don't have to do any more digging. If it's that way, then you have to do more digging.
That's right. So Nick put a little block on this for me to be the exact depth that I need.
That is done.
Okay, so the process for setting these chunks of concrete, they are about 4 inches thick, give or take. I mean, some as small as 2.5, some a little bigger than 4. So what we're doing is we're excavating to 6 inches below what we want our finished surface to be of the top of the concrete. So that's what Esther's done. She makes it look easy. She's awesome with the shovel and the pickaxe.
I paid him to say that.
So that's all set. We lay in road mix to about 2 inches or so, but we don't get real specific about it, and I rake it out as I go in front of each block. The road mix is a nice solid bed for the concrete. It won't really shift around or sink too much, and it's a shim material, so if this block is this big and the next block is this big, I can lay in road mix to get the tops looking good. So we have our first one all done. We set that at 3 inches below this tin right here, so that because that's a grade that we like away from the house. We're setting our next one an inch lower than that, so it continues to grade as it goes away from the house. I'm using my laser level because I like it. You can set up string and a line level. You could just work from one end to the other with a long level like what we have. We use this for all sorts of things. But I like the laser, so I'll show you how I set it up. So this laser shoots out a horizontal line for us, and it's able to correct to a certain extent and find its own level. So as long as I leave it right here, I can pivot it around and shoot it at different things and know that I'm getting an even plane. So I set it up to find the bottom line of the tin. It works best if it's reflecting off of a light colored surface. I can see it pretty easily there. It's just a hair below, but generally pretty good to the bottom of the tin. So we set this one 3 inches below the tin, which it's more or less doing right there. You can see it lighten up right at the 3. So if we turn this around, we know that we want this one to sit 4 inches below the tin. So what I've done here is I made myself a level. I have a line 4 inches from the edge of this, and so as I'm setting that road mix and the block, I adjust it until I see that. That is what I want right there to the finished surface. So why don't we do one?
Let's.
Let's. Says we are almost, well, we're about 3/4 of an inch low and mostly level, but just low. I'm gonna give it a
So what do you think of our tire tracks?
They're awesome.
Good modeling, Thea. You just modeled that perfectly.
It was a race to the finish. I was cutting all of the firewood and trying to get through that, while Esther was getting through her dirt work.
It was fun. I almost made it.
I won.